we're actually never just going to jump right into it. But I am tuning in where you are going to get into a bunch of shit. And the big thing that is really interesting right now is we have 10-foot tsunami waves. They are going to hit Hawaii in, I don't know, very soon. This is a big deal. I guess there was a giant, massive earthquake in Russia, and the waves are traveling across the world, and it is going to affect everybody on the west coast of the United States. Hawaii is, 10-foot waves. Holy moly. Anyway, we're going to get into all the shit. If you're tuning in, I appreciate it. I bought an NFT today. We talked about it yesterday. We're going to see what I bought and what happens. I hope you are going to tune in. Tell your friends. Give a like, give a share. Do whatever nice people do. And I put a link on my X page. If you want to come on the stream, you can do it. You don't need to turn on your camera. Bring some alpha. Give us some shit that is going on. I would greatly appreciate it. We're about to kick it off. Here we go.
Cruising through the city streets, lost in my mind. Golden days and moonlit nights that are intertwined. Skylines, the canvas, painting stories so grand. Dreams and whispers wrapped in this warm, gentle band. We're both beneath these city lights, dancing slow with a groove and a vibe that moves. Like a hidden show, we're wandering souls. Through sunset songs we flow. In a world that's vast, take it nice and slow. Wandering souls, where we go.
All right, I can't stand another second of that. All right. We're having some. So you know what the problem is that because one of these streams goes out to YouTube, they're very particular about what they let on the air. And that's just how it is. So we're just going to hear some Fukuhid runs.
Rockets in the side bus, when it rocked the night. Rockets in the side bus, when it rocked the night. Rockets in the side bus, in the side. Rockets in the side bus, in the side.
Yo, check it, I'm catching that wave. Focus the name at the game on the stage. Focus on shine, watch me light up the night. Digital dreams, yeah, we taking flight. This ain't just art, it's a hustle, you see. Bitcoins and brush paying well digitally. Yeah, I'm stacking these tokens, making my move. In this new world, baby, watch how I groove. We in the cloud, it's a virtual space. Focus the future, setting the pace. With every drop, we rewrite the rules. The step back, we are kings, no fools.
Rockets in the side bus, in the side bus, when it ride bus. Yeah, like nobody else other than us in the side bus, in the side bus.
Yo, check it, I'm stacking these blocks. Fuku's and them is taking over the clock. Superhedron shining, they got that glow. In this crypto hustle, we steal the show. Digital walk, yeah, we making it real. Every NFT drop is a part of the deal. Bitcoin thing, watch it rise like the sun. Fuku's a movement, and we ain't done. Virtual terrorism, we strong, hostile. Full of issues on the slate, couldn't stay for a while. This ain't just money, it's a cultural shift. Get on our level, come and take a lift.
All right, we got one more, and then we're going to get into all the shit. The Coast Guard orders ships to leave Hawaiian ports until tsunami threat passes. Hawaii is bracing for 10-foot tsunami waves. They're telling people to move to higher ground. There's not a ton of higher ground on the Hawaiian Islands, unless you go toward where the volcanoes are. Holy moly, it will wrap around the island. Sirens and evacuations are happening. How destructive will this tsunami be? Keep in mind, this is the Joint 6 strongest ever recorded earthquake for this area. 8.8 magnitude in Russia. Holy moly! What is happening? All right, we're just going to get right into it. I mean, it's too late to get right into it, right? Because we already wasted a shit ton of time, but holy moly. Okay, so I want to get into, NFT shit because I'm a nerd. But this 8.8 magnitude quake off of Russia's coast in a really sparsely populated part of Eastern Russia, it's 8.8. Like, the question is this, is shit just about to get crazy? 8.8. That's some destruction. That is if you do not live in California. I was in the San Francisco earthquake. I was in the Northridge earthquake in Los Angeles. Both really sizable earthquakes. And if you have not felt Mother Nature move beneath your feet, it is one of the most humbling experiences. And it is super scary. The San Francisco earthquake was horrendous for me, for where I was. I was on the 9th floor of a building, and yeah, that day was absolutely horrendous. I lived though, and I was uninjured. There were many people that did not. And when the earth shakes like that, it is awesome. And I think that was like a 6.9. It may have been a 7.2. I can't remember. Northridge earthquake was along those same lines. Northridge is north of Los Angeles. And that earthquake was wicked as well. These earthquakes changed my life. I was on a path, and all of a sudden an earthquake happens, and that path was obliterated. Each time, for whatever reason, like, we're not going to get into the weeds with it, but it's a fun story if you do want to get into the weeds. But this 8.8, this is crazy. And there's a great video, I saw it on X earlier, of just how quickly this tsunami wave is going to impact the world, anybody in its swath of energy. And I don't know, it's also crazy that we're in a world and in a time where these warnings, like, we're going to be able to watch this stuff happen in 4K. And that's kind of crazy as well, right? I think people want to tune into that. I want to tune into it. I'm going to tune into it. But it is really crazy seeing this tsunami shit kick off. So I hope everybody in its path is doing well. I hope they are safe. And my thoughts and prayers are with absolutely everybody. All right, let's get into some shit and see what is going on. Chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Tuesday, July 29th. Welcome to Rare Bits. I used to do this shit every single day for years. And I did it just because I loved doing this shit. I was never able to turn it into something meaningful. And I just kept doing it. And a couple of months ago, I got a job offer that is the best job in the world. and I get to make art 24/7. And I have not been on the timeline. I have not been tuning into spaces. In the last 16 days, I've worked about 208 hours. I am heads down building, doing shit. And the fruit of my labor, like my shit, I like doing shit behind the scenes and making magic. And so that magic is about to come to fruition, and I will share it as it comes. But I'm in this moment where all I'm doing is grinding. And it's actually my favorite. It's my favorite time, just the grind, because it's fulfilling, right? I'm putting in work that nobody knows about, but when we get to where we're going to do the thing we're going to do, everybody's going to be like, holy shit, this is awesome. So we are delivering magic. I am heads down trying to deliver a shit ton of magic. And that's what I got going on. Bitcoin. It is kind of holding steady. If we think about it, it's around $119,000. But if you zoom out just a hair, the rest of the market looks like it is having a seizure. We are seeing red. It looks like shit ran into a goddamn brick wall. After last week's 80,000 Bitcoin dump from Galaxy Digital, I don't know if you guys know about that. Bitcoin took bruises. It bounced from about 114.5 up to $120,000. Like these big players dropping these magical numbers, just liquidating assets. We don't think it affects the market, but it does. But what's magic about this time, different than any other time in history, is these blips where you see price drop. If you believe in where you are, what you're doing, if you believe in the crypto industry, if you believe in Bitcoin, if you believe in token bound assets, if you believe in the blockchain and where we are going, these dips are a gift if you are a long-term player. And then I just want you to think about this. The big new ingredient to Web3, the metaverse, all this shit, which we weren't even talking about 2 years ago, is AI. Now, let's future forward 2 more years into the future. AI is never going to deal with fiat currency ever, ever, ever. It will only deal with digital currency. Possibly these AI bots, agents, whatever the fuck you want to call them, possibly they will become a consensus mechanism, and they will figure out the best cryptocurrency to move forward. And let's say the AI fucking robot nerds get together, a consortium of thousands of them with the ability to process information instantaneously, and they decide these 5 cryptocurrencies are the meat and potatoes. This is all we need. That would be fucking cool. Especially if I held one of those 5 cryptocurrencies. But if you follow my advice, you know that I will not hold those 5 cryptocurrencies. So the story continues to go as it goes. Bitcoin is going to bounce around. We are seeing SUI, Pepe, AVAX, and especially ENA. They are bleeding out at the moment. There was a wild fucking story going on the timeline this morning with Hyperliquid. And I don't even want to get into some of the things that I saw on the timeline. So what's interesting is if you have a huge following, you can post things and cause market reaction while you are shorting that token, knowing that your post is going to create an adverse effect. All the while you are profiting from this behavior. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it, but I saw some of that happening today. People, they want money, and apparently they will do anything to get it. The Fed meets this week. This is a big deal. Rate talk could flip the script fast. If you have a wig, it might get flipped around. If you have a wig, why do you have a wig? Are you balding? If you're balding, how old are you, nerd? Everybody says you're too old to be on Crypto X. Well, how much hair do you have on top of your head? You're way too young to be bald, nerd. Oh, did I say fart coin is for idiots? I did now. I did now. Okay, let's do a market snapshot. You know what? Let's look at some charts and shit, some numbers. You guys like numbers and shit like that. You guys know how to look at charts, but we're going to do it anyway. So the crypto bubbles, they're really great, especially if you are on hallucinogens. Let's check in on the price. Look at that red, 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 red. It is okay. When do you buy the dip? When? Bitcoin coming in at 117. Ethereum 3,800. XRP $3.11. Tether. BNB $800. My call sign on BNB was 650. I told everybody for about 8 months, 650 is the magic number. This is the get in zone. Did you listen? No. Tron, I don't care. Cardano, Hyperliquid. Okay. I need to know what you guys think about this whole scenario. Is it time to jump into this? I don't even care. You know what? I am going to jump all the way down to Toncoin, down 48% year to date. Tell me what you think about Toncoin in the comments. I will not read them. Crypto Greed and Fear Index is coming in at a 74. We are in the greed zone. We have been in this zone for a minute. This is unusual for this time of year. What am I talking about? Looking at the Crypto Greed and Fear Index over the last year, you can see this time last year, we may have been close, but July, August, we ride down into this fuck crypto, fuck everything. Then we got Trump and it pumps up. Everything's great. Then we really got Trump. What is coming future forward is a crypto avenue like we have never seen before. Brace yourselves because this shit is fucking big. How do I know? Because I'm old as fuck. And I remember designing websites for companies, some companies that didn't even have computers. And I was trying to convince them they needed to be on, and we called it back then the World Wide Web. So they knew what we were talking about. And I would design websites and go into companies and I would put the websites on my server, show up and say, hey, can I pull up this address and show you what I'm doing? And I'd say, hey, look, your business is on the World Wide Web. I would love to handle your hosting services, your design services. I'm going to get you set up on the World Wide Web. And they would tell me, get out of my office. We are fine with the yellow pages. And most of you nerds don't even know what the yellow pages are. This is a paper phone book that used to hang in payphones. This wasn't that long ago. I was trying to convince people that the World Wide Web was the answer for your business. And they told me I was nuts. This crypto revolution that we are stumbling upon is going to happen so much faster than anything I have ever seen in my entire life. And AI is the ingredient we did not anticipate. The United States president going full bore crypto, we did not anticipate. These two things over the next couple years are going to be the largest stone in a pond that will have a ripple effect that will change time. It will change your lives. Invest in these moments. It doesn't matter if shit goes down for the next 5 months. Buy into this shit and just hold it. Trust me, hold. Nothing like this will ever happen again until we go to Mars, or maybe we go down into the ocean. I don't know. What revolution is going to come your way bigger than this? This is Web3, the metaverse, artificial intelligence, and cryptocurrency. If you think about it, it's all rolled into one. Gaming, all of it folds into this new package that is coming in the next 5-10 years. It'll come slower than we wanted to, especially for the believers. You're like, it's going to be here next week. It's not. It's going to take a minute. But it is going to be expedited by artificial intelligence quicker than anybody anticipated. That is my thought. This moment in time is your time to capitalize on everything and win. Pay attention to everything. The next 4 years, paying attention to this space will be the best university you ever decided to participate in. Trust me. Don't trust me. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Like, why would you do that? I'm just saying, when I look at a lifetime of technology and internet coming of age, the cell phone coming out, all of these things, I look at where we are now, and this nut is so much bigger than those things, and it's all together. And the bubble, it's not a bubble, but it will rise like a bubble. And this bubble is the largest opportunity for the generation of wealth I have ever seen in my lifetime. That's how substantial this shit is. And it's fucking crazy if you think about it. I'll drink to that. I'll drink to absolutely anything. So probably because I'm thirsty and I just worked 17 hours. Okay, but Crypto Greed Fear Index, we are on the year. We are in such a fucking crazy spot. It's August in like 2 days. We should be down in the dumps. We're not. We're not. Total Bitcoin spot ETF net inflow. It's just looking like magic sauce put on a Taco Bell burrito. Bitcoin dominance, it's in the green. ETH dominance, it is in the green. The big number here is ETH dominance is back to 11.989%. It wasn't too long ago that was down in the nines, below 10% dominance. That is crazy, especially if Ethereum is the backbone to fucking everything. Do you think it is? I don't know. I just decided to pick a side not too long ago. And I decided Ethereum is too complicated. It is the blockbuster of the future. Knowing full well that most people believe it to be the underpin of all DeFi activity future forward. It may very well be. I have a very good friend that is involved with Ethereum, and he is way smarter than I am. So smart that sometimes you think, maybe I'm smarter. Nope. He's 4D chess playing way ahead of me. And his ability to hodl and endure are amazing. So if you bought Ethereum at 35 cents, you are amazing. And if you still hold it, holy moly, that is some absolute crazy shit. Bitcoin dominance, it's in the 60 range. We're going to check in on, I want to check this now. So altcoin season index, we're coming in at a 41. We are right in the middle between altcoin season and Bitcoin season. Where do you think we go? Right? We had this nice little turn up where it looked like altcoin seasons were like shit was about to fly. Now we're seeing a bit of retracement and all the fucking altcoins. An example, I top blasted Pengu a couple days ago. Absolutely top blasted it. It dropped 16%. You love it. You have to love it. Especially because I was trying to I was like, I'm going to buy this little kick up. I wasn't paying attention. I was working. I was just like, Pengu, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to buy it. Other coins I hold, I just hold, don't even look at them. But I was like, we'll do a little quick flip with $1,000 on some Pengu. That was a mistake. Don't do that. I did that and I lost. Anyway, I decided to turn that into an NFT. And if you guys were watching yesterday, I looked through some NFTs that were going around. I was trying to make a choice and I did. Before we see my stupid choice, we are going to look at some of the top movers on Ethereum. And this is what people are paying for NFTs. $359,000 for a CryptoPunk. If you are not in this space or not an NFT nerd, just like grasp that for a moment. These are tremendous sales, and the people that are doing these purchases, I would call them smart money. So when people are spending this type of money and you think it's ludicrous or absurd, these are the people who've done very well in the space, navigating what happens here. So it's notable watching some of these sales come down the pike. We also saw a Meridian first sale, 60 ETH. You have to love that. It is dominated by CryptoPunks, grifters. We saw an XCOPY go for about 65,000. That is 16 ETH. But then we get into the Pudgy Penguin zone. Pudgy Penguins are trading for 60,000 ETH. I had a friend, and I posted this on my timeline less than a month ago. He said, I want to spend 10 grand in crypto. What should I buy? I said, Pengu, hands down. And he also runs a business. And I said, you should also purchase a Pudgy Penguin and make it your mascot for your business. It will open you up to this interesting community. I would love to tell you about it, but I would spend 10 grand on Pengu token and I would buy a Pudgy Penguin NFT. At the time, the Pudgy Penguins were trading at $22,000. This was a month ago. Now the floor price is about 60 grand. That Pengu token has gone up about 212%. Do not fade Luca Nets. But also do not be a top blaster like me. Pengu is not a flip. Pengu is a hold. Pengu is a step into a community. Don't fade the penguin. All right. Looking at Crypto Slam. So some interesting shit. CryptoPunks, Courtyard, Pudgy Penguins, D-Market, Moonbirds. Absolutely. Moonbirds have been sailing. Guild of Guardians, blah, blah, blah. Azuki, Spike Board Ache. We get down to the number 19 slot, and we have not seen this in such a long time, is CloneX. And I wanted to do some research. So I did a bunch of research a couple nights ago and did this really long post just about CloneX. And it came from, I don't know, this is the interesting thing about the NFT space. It's no matter when you came into the space, if you were in, let's say, the Solana lane at the time and CloneX launches and you missed it, you're like, fuck it, I missed it. And it runs up. It runs up to some peak price and you're like, those things are awesome. And then we had Nike. All these things have happened with CloneX and the floor price plummeted. And it stayed at this plateaued, plummeted level where it was upsetting, especially if you were a fucking whale in the CloneX community. But if you were on the sidelines, you're just watching this stuff and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I love this shit so much at 15 ETH. How can I not buy it for 0.3 ETH? But it just sits there and you're like, I'm not doing that. And then I don't know, there's something's happening with the Clonex community. And it just started moving. So I did a deep dive and wrote a post about it. And I got an amazing response from, yeah, it was really nice. I don't want to get into it, but Cardillo, yeah, you can find it on my timeline. But with his response, and I just started thinking about it, I started looking at the movement, and I don't know, earlier today I bought a Clone X. And last night I was on stream saying what is happening, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And I just decided to jump in. And we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. But this kind of FUD buy the fear shit, that's what I was kind of doing. So hopefully it will come to something. And so seeing Clone X start to move up in the rankings, I think is really interesting. And if we are looking at Magic Eden, so in the day, their volume, they're ranking in the top 10. They're above Mutant Apes in the top 10. Their price is only down 0.3% in the last 24 hours. Now, let me go to the 7-day. This gets really interesting. So, Clone X, the volume on the 7-day, it's up 221%. The floor price is up 119%. So, I started seeing this movement a couple days ago, and I was just like, what is happening? And so I posted my research or whatever on the timeline, and I didn't tag. It was one of those just all text, no tag, no anything. I did post a Clone X picture, and getting a response, I was like, all right, this is fucking interesting. And there was no confirmation of what's happening, where it's going, anything. But the response, I don't know. I just decided I like this. And I don't know. Go to my timeline, see the post, whatever. Do what you want to do. But I thought this was an interesting play at the moment. And other than that, I'm really heavily into Final Bosu on Abstract, and I'm heavily into Final Bosu on Ethereum, the original collection. It's called the Bosu Legacy, and there are only 555, and you buy a badge, and you can send this to the art team, and they will give you a custom PFP. And if that is interesting to you, and it was to me, because I'm an old motherfucker, and I don't know, I don't want to look like a 11-year-old fucking nerd playing Nintendo. But I did that, but that's not what I'm doing right now. On the down low, I am. But for all intents and purposes, you will not find me playing Nintendo because I've moved to PlayStation. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is if you want your own likeness as a digital asset, that is possible with Final Bosu. That is how they got started. If you think future forward long term, what if you could get your likeness into whatever the fuck game you're playing, Fortnite, Call of Duty? It would be awesome to have, I don't know, whatever your NFT is. And if it's you, that's even cooler. I don't know. I like what Final Boss is doing, and I believe in him. But it is difficult. This is what's difficult, because I sold my little Pudgy to double down on Final Bosu. And that, again, was another awesome strategic play, which is why you should follow all of my advice. But I'm still happy with Final Bosu. They are starting to kick up some dust on the timeline. There's some people that are upset with their lack of communication. I think they're getting that sorted out. But in the meantime, I am here for it. It is August, right? If it is supposed to be a ghost town right now, crypto is booming. If anybody is talking about NFTs in July and August, shit is booming, whether you realize it or not. I don't know if the normies even need to come. I do know that if people that are in this space all of a sudden get 5Xs or 10Xs on some of the shit they thought were stable coins, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, whatever the fuck it is, some of your like backup plays, not your high risk plays. Imagine if those things take off. NFTs are going to go ballistic. And I do believe everything is about to go ballistic, which is what I love. See, and look at just since I started my podcast in the last hour, we have turned everything absolutely green. And that's how we do shit. That is how we do shit. It is Tuesday night, July 29th. I am going to leave you guys with a little video of some of the shit that I've been working on. I tried to do it yesterday, but the audio was absolutely screwed up. So if you tuned in, thank you. We're going to go through shit tomorrow. And go look at Clone X. I just did, and I got suckered in. I don't know if I got suckered in. I actually didn't buy the floor. I bought art that I thought was interesting, which is another problem with NFTs. That's how they fucking get you. But it is what it is. That's how we do it. You guys enjoy your day. Boom.